Hey everybody, Phenomenous back here again. A couple things I wanted to cover. Stuff I had forgotten to mention in my last recording, and some new stuff I found in the process of gathering stuff. So first we're going to start with some predictive programming from the whole Charlie Kirk thing.
Welcome to a Powell pay-per-view television event. It's hard to believe, but tonight's heavyweight fight is the swan song for the grand old Atlantic City Arena. The final event to be held in this storied hall before it is gutted and completely renovated of Gilbert Powell's Millennium Hotel and Casino. I'm eager to go ringside, along with 14,000 fight fans who have braved Hurricane Jezebel.
Cut! Anthea, they want you to call it a tropical storm, not a hurricane.
Now, the reference to the storm thing, as I've previously shown, there was a South Korean TV show that came out premiered exact same day that Charlie Kirk was shot, called The Tempest, where a Republican figure running for office, he gets assassinated, being shot in the neck on the left side, same side as Charlie, in a church. And if you remember, Charlie's last name, Kirk, means church. He was shot in front of an audience, just like Charlie, and in the left side of his neck. And then right after, his wife, just like Charlie's wife, takes over his position, both in the real life scenario and the story. So yeah, that's The Tempest in reference to storm in this this clip here. That's what the person here is referring to. But I digress. Let's continue.
Give me 5 seconds. I'll call you back. Hey, Jimmy George, wait up a sec.
Hey, come on, Rick. I got people waiting
that's
for
Tyler!
What are you looking at?
That's Tyler!
Where do you think you go?
The AC executioner standing right in front of me. Hello? What? Who are you? Where? My lucky number. What?
Check this out. On the cover of Snake Eyes, it says, "Believe everything except your eyes." And what has been the biggest thing about this whole Charlie Kirk shooting is that no one can really believe their eyes, because there's so many aspects about that whole thing that's misleading, very deceptive, especially the whole chair going through the table thing. Now people are saying that camera, what appears to be a camera behind Charlie, is actually a holographic projector, which is possible because we see how the chair goes to the table, and it's very well could be the case. But anyways, I mean, we can't even trust the videos that we actually see of the footage, because they're very carefully selected videos. You only get a few angles. They could have easily altered those. Like, unless you were there with your own camera, you don't know what actually happened. We just are all basing this off of what we've seen with our eyes. We can only believe that what we're seeing is accurate. Saw this video earlier from Russian Vids on Rumble. There was a specific part in it that related to my last video's title. So I thought I'd go to that part.
I want to mention these two individuals here, these two children,
I refer to them as girls on the YouTube side of things. And her name is pronounced L. 33 in plain sight. The L's are 3s as well. I mean, literally, this is full of coded 33s in plain sight. And her name is pronounced L. Find that interesting when it comes to Hebrew. El is God, just like Bella or Bel means Lord or Master. And the tennis courts are constantly being mentioned during the interview itself. And as I demonstrate,
El, God. And her last name, Steel. Remember, my title is The Messiah of Steel. Now, this is obviously a coached kid. And the fact that her name is pronounced El, meaning in Hebrew, God. God's Steel. The Messiah of Steel. Now, I'm not saying Charlie Kirk is going to come back as a Messiah. I was actually, the point of my video was a combination, the name of it was a combination of the whole Messiah stuff with the Feast of Trumpets and this Charlie Kirk character, and how I thought possibly there could be a connection between the two at some point in some kind of possible blue beam project type shit. But I digress. It's just something to think about. There's a lot of references to Charlie as the Man of Steel, and I just thought those two together would make a nice title. To show you what I'm talking about here, we have the White House, symbol of hope, truth, justice, the American way, Superman, Trump. That was on July 10th. And then we got the shooter of Charlie Kirk at Dairy Queen after 17 minutes after the shooting at Dairy Queen. What's behind him? Superman poster. And then we have the doctor describing Kirk's bones as so healthy, as so impressive that he's like the Man of Steel. Why all the Superman references? Why this Man of Steel thing? Yet to be determined. Although we could just kind of think of it, maybe the godlike status they're giving him, the supernatural. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about was this September 24th date. Now, remember this video I played in this clip I played in my last video was this person. I don't know who she is. I don't really trust her just by looking at her, but very interesting video nonetheless. She had posted it 6 days ago, and it's a warning about tomorrow, September 24th.
So 1 week from today, do not believe anything that you see or hear. And I'm not talking about your day-to-day grocery store run, chit chat with colleagues. I'm talking about anything startling, shocking, extraordinary, anything that you might consider remarkable, memorable. Why do I say this? Because one of my sources sent me an encrypted message tonight. And usually I get like a paragraph at least, kind of explaining what they're talking about and details of some sort. This was just one sentence, and in all caps it said, "Do not believe anything that you see or hear on 9/24." Now, this isn't one of my military buds that is sometimes wrong or gets delayed information or facts are skewed. This is someone I trust implicitly, has never been wrong. They have no reason to BS me. They don't BS. That's not who they are. They are very, one of those. I've known them most of my life. You don't have to take me seriously. I'm going to take it seriously. Now, what I find interesting, and I don't know if this has any connection to it, is the 24th is also the same day that Israel is going to internationally broadcast their trumpet ceremony. They're going to have 100 rabbis blowing 100 horns to celebrate, all the red heifers that they've burned. And apparently they're going to have all of the ashes leading back all the way to Esther.
Anyways, now what Feast of Trumpets is really about is not about just celebrating heifers. The Feast of Trumpets, also known as Rosh Hashanah, marks the beginning of the Jewish High Holy Days and is celebrated on the first day of the 7th month. Tishri is... Stop with the freaking pop-ups. It involves the blowing of the shofar, a ram's horn, which serves as a call to repentance and reflection. The feast initiates a 10-day period of consecration leading up to the Day of Atonement. It is a time for self-examination, spiritual renewal, commemorating the creation of the world and the beginning of the civil year in the Jewish calendar. I've also heard it described as waking the Jewish people from their slumber, which kind of brings me to my next topic. Actually, we've had this warning from Laura Loomer. Now, L is the 12th letter of the alphabet. Laura Loomer, LL equals 24, right? So, must read. Urgent intelligence alert. NCTC confirms Al-Qaeda presence on U.S. soil. Imminent multi-city Islamic terrorist attacks. Source tells me tonight that the National Counterterrorism Center, NCTC, has officially determined that Islamic terrorists affiliated with Al-Qaeda has infiltrated U.S. soil and are actively planning a series of coordinated Islamic terrorist attacks. This marks the first time federal counterterrorism officials have openly acknowledged the immediacy of such threats, signaling a potential escalation in domestic jihadist activity, not seen since the height of ISIS-inspired plots in the mid-2010s. According to NTTC's latest assessment, shared in a classified briefing to congressional leaders and leaked today, Al-Qaeda cells, emboldened by the group's resurgence in Afghanistan and the north of Central Africa, have embedded themselves across major urban centers in the U.S. This is confirmed intercepted communications, financial tracking, and human intelligence. Sources tell me that this is a sophisticated operation aimed at maximizing casualties and chaos. Indicators of preparation, uniforms, hospitals, and deception tactics. Or indicators, I think. My sources tell me that attack strategy by Al-Qaeda is designed to sow confusion and cripple emergency response. These terrorists have been purchasing large quantities of police and first responder uniforms from surplus outlets and online vendors in at least 5 states. These acquisitions, traced through bulk credit card anomalies and CCTV footage, suggest a plan to impersonate law enforcement during the assaults, allowing attackers to blend in, direct panic crowds, or even execute secondary strikes on fleeing victims. My sources tell me that Al-Qaeda's terror attack plans in the U.S. are focused on hospitals and medical facilities. NTTC even has evidence that these terrorists are scoping emergency rooms, trauma centers, and triage points in cities like New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, and Miami. Their intent appears clear: disrupt healthcare infrastructure to prevent treatment of the wounded, effectively creating a second wave of fatalities through denial of care. In the event of an attack, civilians could face a nightmarish scenario where friend and foe are indistinguishable, with medics overwhelmed and no safe haven for the injured. The potential for hundreds, if not thousands, or additional deaths in the chaos is described by one DHS source as horrific beyond comprehension. The plot's scale points simultaneous strikes across multiple cities, echoing Al-Qaeda's historical ambitions for mass casualty operations like 9/11, but adapted for urban guerrilla tactics. Targets could include soft sites such as crowded events, transportation hubs, and public gatherings. We are under attack. Al-Qaeda Islamic terrorists disguised as first responders are planning to attack U.S. cities and our hospitals. Sorry, where are our lawmakers to address this growing threat of Islamic terror in the U.S.? No, this is just an incoming psyop, or just throwing out fear, just right after the Charlie Kirk thing, just to keep the fears going. Either way, something maybe will happen tomorrow, the 24th. Something, possibly. That wasn't the only one. We had another. It wasn't just Laura Loomer. This
Well, I know for sure Al Qaeda has a massive terror attack plan. They have it slotted for 2025. It could move, like the Hamas attacks got pushed a year, but it's going to be multi city. It's going to be a swarming attack. So that's kind of like we saw with the Mumbai bombings or some in the Hamas attacks as well. They're going to have about 10% of the attackers be suicide bombers, and they're going to bomb airliners. So there will be a very large scale attack on the U.S. homeland. Does it all occur in a day? I'm not sure. But the terrorists are already here. The plan is operational. Well, I know for sure Al Qaeda has a massive terror attack plan. They have it slotted for 2025. It could
just repeated. So yeah, we got more of the same from Laura Loomer, Loomer, and then this character, CIA intelligence expert. Sorry. It's pretty funny. They're having all this resurgence of Al Qaeda 24 years after September 11th. Yes, 24 years. It's the 24th anniversary of September 11th. So there's a lot of 24s going around here, which makes me believe that it's possible that something could happen tomorrow. Just something I'm throwing out there as a possibility. And to prepare yourselves to not believe any of it. Do not, what is it? Believe everything except your eyes. Believe everything except your eyes. Right. What did Laura Loomer say? Oh, yeah. In the event of an attack, civilians could face a nightmare scenario where friend and foe are indistinguishable. Right. Trust no one because you can't believe your own eyes. Right? And then we got the Feast of Trumpets. The sounding of the horns hasn't happened yet. Supposedly it will, after this live stream. I don't know if this is the actual live stream or not, but the live stream will commence tomorrow for sure. And it will be the first time ever live broadcast to the world. 100, what was it, priests or whatever they said? Rabbis, Jews, yeah. 100 Jews, rabbis, blasting some horns for the first time. Never been done before where it was that many coordinated. So yeah, it's supposed to be quite the spectacle to be expected on the 24th. 24, it represents X in the alphabet, and X means transformation. So we'll be seeing a big transformation tomorrow to something. Our world's going to get transformed with some great turning point, perhaps. Anyways, that's enough. I just wanted to get that out there before tomorrow hits, so it's relevant. I thank you so much for your time and attention. This is Venomous, reporting from the brave new world. Catch you next time.
No way, Paul!
you.